I noticed on Instagram today, Emma Vigland. Emma Vigland now works with Sam Cedar in the Majority Report. She used to work for TYT, the Young Turks. She had a very interesting, what do you call it, post, I guess, on Instagram? I don't know. And she writes, the second Nakba, the 21st century trail of tears, hundreds of thousands made homeless, forced to leave their community forever because the only other option is being killed by Israel with US tax dollars. And here's some pictures. Here's some pictures of people being forced to leave their homes. Now, people will say, well, they could stay if they want, but they're being forced upon threat of death. So if you stay, you die. Yeah, sorry, Cherry, go. Look at all these dangerous people. He looks like he might take up arms, and be a real threat to Israel. Sorry, bro.
He's got a stick. Better call it an airstrike. There was a comment in the chat last night, and I didn't want to talk about it then, but I've seen it a couple of times since then as well, of like, well, you know, why don't they just go to Egypt? Why don't they just go to Jordan? Why don't they just go somewhere else? Part of the reason is once they leave, Israel won't let them back in. You have to have a permit to go from Palestine to Egypt and that sort of thing, and it's given by the Israelis. They control the entry into those territories. This is why it's not like we talk about Palestine being its own country. It's not. There's big chunks of the Israeli government that do not want to acknowledge the fact that Palestinians as a people, as a nation, as a part of land, exists at all. And for a lot of them, the goal is to push them out and the land become part of Israel with Israelis living on it. That is what they have been doing for decades in the West Bank with their armed settlements and that sort of thing. So if they push a whole lot of people out of Gaza, they end up refugees living out their lives in tents in the Sinai Peninsula, and it's Egypt's problem. Fucking perfect. So these people know if they leave, they can never come back. And these are people that have been living on Palestinian land for generations. It's so deep. It's so, I think, for a lot of New Zealanders in such a young country, so hard to comprehend. And I think there's a reason why a lot of Māori people have a specific affinity for what they're seeing, because what they're seeing is colonization.